Hello, dog lovers and YouTube dwellers. Welcome to the part 2 of breeders from whom you should never get a pup. Let's move on. Sixth, a breeder who won't do a health test before delivery of a dog or puppy or refuses to do any kind of a health test before delivery. A lot of breeders. In fact, 99.99% breeders won't do a health test voluntarily before delivery, and they don't want to do any health tests. They don't want to take out any X-rays, and most of these breeders that you see anyway, they start selling pups at 28, 30 days old, which is so wrong. You don't wanna sell a pup before 60 days or 65 days. Basically 8 to 9 weeks. You don't want to sell because the pup has to socialize, has to learn manners, and it learns manners from its mother. It has to be with its mother, it has to be with the siblings, it has to be with the other dogs around. This is where he actually learns the do's and don'ts, and cultivates good behavior, good temperament. But these guys just sell it. So what sort of health test are you going to do anyway, right? I think they give one vaccine and sell or something like that, which is very strange. And so that's wrong. Ideally, you want to be selling a pup closer to 90 days, because that's when the health issues in a pup start showing up between 90. I mean, if it's genetic related, I mean to say. So the health issues in a pup start showing between 90 days and 160 days. Yeah. So this is when the health issues in a pup start showing up, 90 to 160 days. And you want to be selling ideally a good breeder, and this is in my opinion anyway, a good breeder should be selling a pup closer to 90 days, maybe 100 days, and that is when. And it's very important to get a health test done. At that age you can do a proper health test. Get a X-ray of the hips. It's not ideal. I mean, you can't judge anything much about hip dysplasia, but at least what you get an idea of the hip joint and the socket. The hip socket, which is very important. How well it is developed, and how well is the joints sitting with the socket, things like that. And of course the hip joint will continue to develop for 18 to 24 months. So that is when you would really get a good idea. But it's good to have an X-ray done, or and get a health certificate from the doctor. Basically take it to the vet before your breeder would deliver the puppy. 2 days or 3 days before the delivery, it's better to take the pup, get a general health test done. Get a clean chit from the vet saying the puppy is healthy, no skin issues or eye issues or ear issues. The pup is structurally sound, or temperamental issues, if any. If it's that drastic, you can notice it, things like that. So this is very important, and most breeders don't, but I think one should insist on getting a health certificate before you get up, especially if you're going to especially if you're paying a lot of money for a puppy. So then health test doesn't cost much, $500-600 maybe, so rupees, that is Indian rupees. So okay, the X-ray may cost a little more, but the general health test itself does not cost so much. So just to sort of get an okay from the vet, and so the vet doesn't notice anything alarming, so to speak. So this is very important, right? So if a breeder refuses to give you any kind of a health test, and of course the sire and the dam must be health tested as well. If he is not willing to provide you any health certificates of the sire and the dam of the pup, and then finally before delivery an okay report from the vet for the pup itself saying health wise he seems to be okay, right? Sure, the pup can still develop issues later, but at least at the time of delivery, you know, both the breeder as well as the pup owner are sure that, you know, at least at that point of time, you know, the pup seems healthy. You know, the pup is healthy. This is very important. So if the breeder is not willing to do that, it's a red flag. Move on, drop it, don't push it. Next, 7th, a breeder with a bad attitude who will not hesitate to go after an unsatisfied customer, potential customer, on social media. Now, this is a new phenomenon that I have been noticing, you know. So a lot of breeders, a customer would, you know, a customer who might have had a problem with a pup. I'm not saying that the customer is always right, okay, or rather a customer is always truthful, but a customer is a customer, and a customer has to be treated, and the way you treat a customer, even if the customer is not truthful, actually defines how you are and shows what kind of a breeder you are. Or a potential customer, you know. So you would have a customer who's asking these queries, and then through that conversation, the customer pulls out. You know, the potential customer thinks it's not right, and I'm going to back down, right? So now the breeder, you know, it sort of hurts the breeder's ego, or whatever, feels he's wasted too much time. And so, and then it goes on to these Facebook or any other social media groups, takes screenshots and posts it on social media. You know, look at this guy. You know, such people, they don't understand what breeders are and all. Man, there are doctors who work night and day. We don't understand. I don't need to understand what the doctor is going through, because that is the doctor's profession. You know, the doctor cannot come and say, this guy came and I operated on this guy and he never came back with a box of chocolates. And he does not know how hard I have worked. That was my 18-hour shift that day. See, a breeder, that's part of the job. You know, you have 100 people contacting you. You have to pay attention and give your time to all those 100 people. But not all of them are going to get a pup from you. It's not necessary, it's not important, but then that's good marketing. I mean, even if that customer did not get a pup from you, but you had a good conversation with that potential customer or a potential pup owner, then you are going to, that's good word of mouth marketing. You know, that customer or that person is going to go and talk good about you in the market, even if that person has never purchased, you know, made a purchase from that breeder. So but that shows the attitude of the breeder. If you find such breeders, right, scoot, that's a red flag. You don't want that breeder, because tomorrow, even if you get a pup from that breeder and then you have an issue, right, he's always going to issue with the pup. Instead of working with you to resolve the issue and you know, instead of guiding you and whatnot, the breeder is straight away going to say, you know what, I don't have time for all this. You don't know how to bring up a pup, and it's all your fault. That's it, simple. Because breeders love to pin issues on the customer, especially if it's a very popular breeder who's got a good following and all that. You know, such breeders, right? They would love to pin. I'm not pin issues on one or two unsatisfied customers who have some issues. No, I'm not saying all the breeders are like that. I'm just saying you would find on and off, you might find a breeder like that, and when you do, you don't want issues. Move away. That's a red flag. And finally, the 8th one. A breeder who never sticks to what he says. He or she says. Well, this is another big issue I've noticed. You know, you find breeders who say one thing now, and 10 days later, they change their story. You know, they say this pup belongs to this particular, is from this litter. Then they change it. No, actually, this pup belongs to that litter, or or this dog was in my kennel, and this is from my kennel, and then later they say, no, this is from a friend's kennel. So basically, you would never find a breeder is sticking to one thing, or sticking to price. You initially ask, and he says, you know what, this is the price, okay, and then 10-15 days later he changes the price, saying, no, actually there was an issue, and this is actually my costing is this way and that way, what not. I mean, price changes in pricing, changes in deals, or you could say, you know what, I want free shipment, and this is the price for the free shipping. He says, okay, done. And then later on they change it and say, you know what, yeah, actually it won't be possible now because the cost is really going up, so you'll have to shell out so much extra for the shipping or whatever, things like that. So a breeder who never sticks to what he says, red flag. Stop, scoot, move on. You don't want such breeders. You don't want to deal with these people again. So guys, these were some of the red flags that I wanted to highlight and point out to any of you who wants to go out and buy a pup, and basically, any one or more than one of these is a strong red flag. You want to avoid such breeders. You basically want a balanced breeder. A person who knows how to speak, who speaks to the point, who keeps his word, never deviates. After once he's committed, then he's committed, who sticks to a commitment, who's very clear in the terms and conditions. This is very important. A breeder who's very, very clear from the onset. He's very clear, these are my terms and conditions. Any deviation from this will result in this. Simple. Everybody's clear. So things like that, who keeps these three rules and follows these three rules, as in who is concerned about his breeding stock, who is concerned about what he is offering to the potential pup owner, he's got the needs and the well-being of the potential pet owner in his mind. And then finally, he also has the well-being of his kennel. I see a lot of these posts on social media, on FB, and these people keep writing things that don't make sense to me. They write, only money is what this breeder has on his mind. These breeders, they don't think about anything else except making money. Well, yeah, how are you going to sustain? This is not charity. Running a kennel is a big expense, and it's an even bigger risk. Of course, a pet owner has to, a breeder has to keep that in mind, because any livestock management is a big expense, and it's a big risk. A dog can die. You lost all your money right there, because of disease or infection, who knows, or some accident. Livestock is not easy. It's a very, very big risk. There is no such thing as a shelf life. It's not like you invested in stock and you've kept that stock. Even if it doesn't sell tomorrow, it will sell day after tomorrow. Or you don't have such luxuries with livestock. You have to keep these risks in mind. One rainy season, some infection can come and wipe out half the breeding stock that a breeder can have. It can happen, and it does happen. So that's bullshit. Of course, a breeder has to keep the profits in mind, but a good breeder will always keep these three things in mind. First, of course, the well-being of his breeding stock, as in making sure the dam is his females are in good shape to reproduce. If necessary, then give a gap of 1 year between litters if it's required. If the breeder sees that, she's not fit enough, she's not recovered properly enough, sure, That's and of course making sure that um, the dam is getting a good nutrition, good diet, you know, regular vet visits to make sure that she's keeping a good health, and that will translate in puppies as well, of course, because that's part of the keeping the owner, the new pet owner in mind, because if you're going to take care of the of the dam of the litter, the pups will also be healthy, obviously, because they've gotten good nutrition and they are born in good health, and then of course you continue with good nutrition with the pups and things like that. So yeah, so you keep that in mind, that you keep the pup owner in mind. You want to make sure that the pup owner does not have to face any health issues of the pup because of poor genetics or poor breeding. This is very important to keep in mind. So yeah, and then of course you have to make sure that you make some money as well, because obviously these things are not cheap. Vet visits are not cheap. Good nutrition and diet is not cheap. It's very expensive, and cleanliness and upkeeping of the kennel and or of the premises where the breeding stock and the dogs are housed, that is not cheap. It's expensive, you know. So this is not a charity show. It won't last if you're going to not make money. You'll have to close it down very quickly. So it has to be a win-win situation, But a breeder who has these three things in mind, and not just one thing in mind, and that one thing is just making money, then man, that's not an ethical breeder. You want to stay away, right? So yeah, so these things are there. So guys, these are my thoughts. Thought I'll just lay it out. Maybe it may benefit any of you out there. So all the best for all of you who are looking to get a new pup. Just make sure that you note these red flags, keep them in your mind, and then you look for, and I'm sure you'll find a good breeder. There are good breeders out there, trust me, there are, but there are too few and too far in between, right? So these red flags will help you in sort of clearing away the dead meat and getting to the bone, so to speak. All right then. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, then click on like. Please do subscribe to the channel. And if you've not subscribed yet, and of course, press that bell icon, to get first-hand notifications the moment the video is uploaded. Right? Take care. See ya. Ciao.